Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, I'm John and this is Cloud9 Outdoors. It's Monday evening and just wanted to get out for a local walk really, try and keep my fitness up, and had a look at the OS maps, and I've not been to this place before. So this is Billinge Hill and it's the highest peak in Merseyside. And having a quick read and a quick look on YouTube, it's got some of the best viewpoints from the whole of Merseyside. Today we're setting off on a really short walk to the top of Billinge Hill and heading up to take a look at the old nuclear bunker and have a good scan around the tower and look at the amazing views over Merseyside. It's only a short walk, about a couple of miles long, and very accessible for anybody that might want to go and take a look. So apparently when we get to the top of here, you get the best viewpoints in the northwest really. So you get to see all the Wales coast over to Blackpool Tower, and sometimes you can see Jodrell Bank. So we're going to head up as soon as I find the footpath, because I'm not entirely sure which way I'm going yet. But the footpath sign was pointing up this way, so we're going to go and have a look and see whether we can find the footpath and head up to the top of Billinge Hill. So when we get up to the top of Billinge Hill, there's a few things that I want to look at. One of them is the main beacon, which was where they used to light fires to signal an invasion or a warning, and they used to light them across all the beacons in the area. So there's that to see. And then there's quite an interesting nuclear bunker up there as well, which we're going to have a look at that. I don't think there's much to see there because it's been concreted in, but there is a few things. But first I've got to find this footpath. Looks like it's through here, it's just not very well signposted. So it's a really hot evening. It's time we're now 6:30 on a Monday evening during the heat wave in the UK. And just thought I got home from work, and you know the way sometimes you get home from work and you're a bit twitching, wanting to get out somewhere, so thought I'd head up to Billinge Hill and come and check it out. Just a bit of information while I'm heading up there. You might notice that I've got no Saz and Jackson with me today. The main reason is it's just too hot for Jackson. Yeah, he doesn't do well in the heat. He's getting on 10 now, so left him at home. He's gone for a little walk around the block and then he's going back home, and Saz has took him, so that's the reason why she's not here today. But just got the first glimpse of the beacon. We'll go and head down through these woods and then head up and see what views we can see from up there. Maybe get the drone on. So just behind me on the hill you can see the beacon. It stands at 587 feet and it's the highest point in Merseyside. So it's actually classified as a Marilyn, which is a classification of a British hill. So a Marilyn is a British hill with a height of more than 150 metres. So that's this one, Billinge Hill. So I'll just give you a few facts about Billinge Hill, or it's referred locally as Billinge Lump. So there's actually two hills called Billinge Hill. One is just outside of Blackburn and one is the highest point of Merseyside, which is the one I'm at today. So when we get up there you'll see an 18th century tower. It was actually a summer house or a pavilion that was built, but unfortunately it burnt down. It was built in 1788 by the Banks family of Winstanley. You can just about see it behind me. But what I've actually come to look for, as well as the beacon, is there's a Cold War nuclear bunker somewhere in the trees, which I'm going to go and try and find. There isn't much of it left because it's been filled with concrete, but it's definitely worth taking a look at. Let's head this way. So during the Cold War there was 1,500 listening posts built across the UK. They had technology in them to monitor to see whether there was a detonation, and also to monitor radiation levels if that should happen. Thankfully that never happened, and a lot of them have been filled in now. We're going to go and see that's large west of the beacon, so we'll go and see if we can find it. So this is the trail that just heads up to the top of the hill. It's actually really accessible. If you can do any kind of walking, then you can easily get up here. And there's car parking just at the side of the trail. See all the writing's been etched into it now. One of the old windows that's been bricked up. And then over here is the trig point. So even though the weather is perfect, there's a bit of a haze. But if we look over this way, we can see right over to the Irish Sea and Southport. And then over to Liverpool over here. See the windmills at Liverpool docks. And more Liverpool over there. You've got Runcorn refinery. There's the trig point. Yeah, it's really hazy. But you got the oil refinery at Frodsham over there. In the distance there you can see Liverpool Cathedral, or the two cathedrals. Then over in this direction you've got Winter Hill straight ahead, and then over to the Lake District. And Manchester just there. So I was just speaking to, well, it was a guy who called it Billinge Lump, so he must be a local, because I was trying to find the nuclear bunker, and it said it was 50 yards west, and he had no idea about it. He said he'd never heard of it, but I've just found it. So if you're looking to come and see the nuclear bunker, if you just drop down this hill, this is west off the beacon itself. Just drop down this little hill and you'll see, looks like an old barbed wire fence post just standing to the left of the trail, surrounded by a load of nettles and brambles. You can see it there. It's the one with the bent top. There's two, there's one on that side and one on that side. And if you come just through this little cut through, it's just there. So this is the nuclear bunker that's been concreted in. So you can't get down to it or anything now, but it had like early warning systems in, and it also had a system for identifying exactly where the nuclear device had been detonated, so it could pinpoint exactly where it was and hence who we had to strike back. So yeah, this is one of the nuclear bunkers. There's quite a few of these knocking around, but this is the one at Billinge Hill. This looks like it might have been part of the old ladder that went down into it, but like I say, it's completely concreted in now, so you can't see anything. So this bunker was opened in 1960 and operated until about 1968. So apparently there's a metal pipe stuck out the ground somewhere around here, which was used to monitor the radiation. So I'm just going to have a little look round, although everywhere is overgrown, and see whether I can see that. So by the looks of it, it's not a very well-known thing, that nuclear bunker. I'm literally just winging it tonight. I've got my Garmin map tracking me. I'm not using the map, I'm just wandering. But that's tracking me, so I can always get back to where I come from. And it's funny because as I've just come down the hill, the haze is disappearing slightly, so I'm just going to get my other camera out and I'll show you some of these views. So I can zoom in a bit better on my phone, but you can see, I presume that's the oil refinery at Frodsham. And if we go this way, there's a shadow there, you can just about make it out. That's the Liverpool Cathedral. The cloud's coming over now, so you can't see. So the whole area is actually consists of sandstone, which was quarried to make a lot of the buildings in the area and the churches. If you look at the actual beacon building, you can see how the stones resemble a lot of the local stonework on the churches, etc. So that's what's under the ground here. So the actual beacon would have been a fire that was lit on top of the hill. The building that's there now is just part of a summer house that was built. But the beacons were used all across northern England in 1588. In fact, they were all lit when the Spanish Armada came across the channel. And all the beacons in the area were all lit. So you could see all the way across all the different beacons signalling that there was going to be an invasion. So this is what the next nearest beacon to here would be at Rivington Pike, which you can see directly from the hill. And then the next one to that would be Bolton, Darwin Tower. So the whole of the northwest would have been able to see these fires lit on top of the hill as the Spanish Armada started to approach. So as you come down the hill to the west of the tower, you get a view over Liverpool, and you can see all the cranes at Seaforth, the docks there at Bootle. And then gorgeous rolling fields over towards Crank and Rainford. And then the golf course just over the back here. But they're struggling to keep that grass green in this sun. So just before I leave Billinge Hill, because I always forget, I'm just going to go onto my Climbed It app. Although I don't really feel like I've climbed anything today, but it's not very tall, but we'll bag it anyway. Billinge Hill, there you go, bagged it. Nice easy one for a Monday night, get me back into the swing of things. So I don't know when this weather's going to change, and I know at the weekend it's going to be a little bit cooler, so we're heading up to the Lake District this weekend, and going to bag a few more Wainwrights. I'm not sure what course we're doing yet, so I won't tell you because it'll probably change, but we're going to do another horseshoe, I think, and see if we can bag a handful more Wainwrights. So just while I'm walking back to the car, I've got some news for subscribers and followers. So if you watched the video where me and Joe went camping, he did a bit of an interview. We were talking in there about what's next for sort of my camping adventures, and well, I decided that I wanted a van, a camper van. So I've been looking around for ages and ages trying to find the right one, and I think I've found it. So I went to have a look at that at the weekend. Had a chat with the guys who were building it, and it looks really, really good. So they're sending me the details over, and that'll be coming next on the channel. I was just on my way back to the car, but I've just found another footpath, so just going to go and have a quick explore down here, see where this goes. So yeah, the van. So it's currently getting converted for us, and we're going to take it out on our Wainwright journeys and do some kayaking and paddle boarding. So I actually went for a Renault Traffic conversion, just because I didn't want to spend stupid amounts of money on a van. I know it's still quite expensive, but I'll go down this way. You know, it is quite an expensive thing, but the amount of money that we spend on accommodation and when we're going around doing all these videos and filming all the Wainwrights, it just made sense to get a camper van. So that's what I've done. So I should have that in a couple of weeks, and I'll do a playlist on the channel. It'll be called Van Life or something like that, where I show you all the upgrades that I'm doing to it, and when we're travelling around the Lake District and having loads of fun. So seeing as this is so prominent, I thought I'd best tell you what it is. So this is Billinge Hill transmission station, and it broadcasts the radio for the St Helens and the Wigan area, and that's located just on top of Billinge Hill, and in the distance you can see the beacon. Right, so that's it. Only a quick walk today round Billinge Hill, show you a few things, but I'm back at the van now. Yeah, so that's a quick walk round Billinge Hill, back at the van now. So I'm going to set off back home and get something to eat, and I just got absolutely nailed by a horsefly, which I need to go and sort that out. I hope you've enjoyed coming with me on the walk, and I know you all want to see Jackson and Saz out on a hike, so I'll leave this video here where we went up to the next beacon of Rivington Pike. If not, I'll see you on the next one.